Court to discuss and consider professional services agreement with JQ Engineering LLP for courthouse structural assessment. And I'm about to show you why. All right, so if you'll look right there at that panel, that's not supposed to be doing that. You shouldn't see that seam. As you get closer, you can see it standing out quite a bit. You can see where the caulking has been pulled loose. I'm gonna go back one because it's also causing that corner to, it looks like it's twisting. And that was a couple of weeks ago when we looked at it down at the bottom. We measured that, you can see it pushing that box out. That's another side of it. All right, so the opposite side of that one is doing, it's hard to see right there, it's doing the similar thing, but you can see it's moved out quite a bit. And there are a few more panels around the courthouse that are doing that. Okay, so this right here is under the breezeway, where on the west side, where the ramp is. It's got some rust up in there. Todd found that the other day, had some moisture up in there somehow. I don't know if it's seeping in from the stairs or where, but you can see it's underneath there. And like I said, I don't know if it's coming in from the stairs or where it's coming from. So the other day we went and measured how far that is sticking out. Those blocks are between 2 5/8 and 3 1/4 inch according to the plans. That one is 3 inches thick. That's more than 1.5 inches that it has moved out. And that's about halfway up. That's about 1 inch. The other one that I had pictures of a moment ago, it's almost 1/2 inch out, or roughly 1/2 inch out. Let's see. There's another panel that has moved. It's hard to see there. That is on the west side. I'm sorry, on the north side. Where am I? North side, on the end. See where it's starting to pull away as well. And then at the stairwells, that's the stairwell on the east side, you can see where it's starting to deteriorate down at the bottom. You can see where it's starting to deteriorate down at the bottom. So,
So you were showing it both sides? That's
Yeah.
not just one place, right?
right, that's both sides of the stairwell.
Yeah, one's worse than the other.
One on the left and
South side, yeah, north side.
Yeah.
Those
So-
just need to be repaired. Or that lab rusts.
Right. So, with that, that's pretty concerning. I don't want that to fall off.
Which side is that on?
This is on the north side. I'm sorry, south side.
North side, okay.
Yeah, so it's the second, set of panels. Yeah. We can make all kinds of assumptions about what needs to be done, but I think personally, the best option is to start with the structural engineer. I reached out to Nolan County since they had this issue several years ago. While I was waiting for the judge to get back to me, ran into, judge in Lubbock County, and he put me in touch with, or they put me in touch with their engineers that they used when they just redid a building. And, it's this JQ of Dallas. They've used them like their work. And so, what they're looking at is, this, document that I gave to you. They'll do an evaluation of it, of the building, to see what's going on with it. Using borescope, radar, I think,
Yeah.
ground penetrating radar, or FIR scan, to locate metal anchors, which may be supporting the stone panel. Or were, yes, exactly. So, basic services are 7,000, alternate services are 2,500 per visit. And then you have so much per hour for different folks to come in and look at it. Don't want to end up like Nolan County, like when their granite fell off.
It actually fell off, yeah, almost hit them.
Well, I'm pretty sure the way I would fix it would not be real kosher. So, take a front end loader and push it backwards or something.
Okay.
Need,
It might cause more problems.
that's what I mean, yeah, no. Yeah, we don't need that to fall off.
And we do have some funds that we could use for this, move, yeah. And we set aside for things like this last year.
Only problem I have with this is they're kind of going backwards at what they're viewing this. I don't understand why you need a borescope, which is gonna go through the tuck pointing into the inside the building to see what's inside the building, whenever you can walk right through the tax office and go in there and you can see it. You don't have to for
Yeah.
to a borescope. Ground penetrating is to see what sheared off or what rusted out, or we need it repaired. We don't need to know how it moved from where it is. So I don't understand why they're,
And
I mean,
I'm
they
sure
haven't
they'll
even
come.
assessed it, evidently.
No, they haven't. No, this is just the initial
Yeah,
to assess it.
Yeah.
Now, they may get here and they come inside and, like you said, and look from the
Makes no
inside out.
sense. Yeah.
And not do, the force scoping.
And also, there's, concrete poured up above those panels. And then every 9 feet, there's a 12 or 14 by 14 horizontal, concrete column. And then every so often a vertical column. And so I'm hoping that they're not going to come up with some kind of outrageous idea like they did out here on Avenue E Bridge, whenever a truck was just tall enough that it couldn't go under it and it skidded to a halt, and they're talking about raising the bridge and everything else, and some little kid comes along and says, "Why don't you let the air out of the tires?" That's, I don't, the assessment's fine, I don't mind that. I think they need to really look at it before they start applying tools that possibly isn't needed, and the cost of those tools. We need it to be repaired to where it will stay in place. And I'm very interested in seeing what their idea of putting it and keeping it in place would be.
On this B, what I was kind of curious about, it says any removed or damaged sealants will be repaired by others.
Yeah.
Who are others?
Well, that would have to be somebody that does that for a living, I think.
Right. They're just engineers. It's not, coming in and doing any work other than seeing what the problem is and how to fix it, giving us an idea on.
But if they don't
What's
force
actually
go,
going on.
they won't need it.
So they're just assessments, where I
Correct,
understood it.
yes. This is just an initial assessment to see what's going on.
And then most likely we would have to go out for bids for somebody to
Right.
do the RFQs to do the repairs.
Right.
And then follow potentially with the insurance and all that.
Mhm.
Now, this company likely doesn't know that they can go down there and see,
Right.
Probably
they
not.
sent us, this is what we would do at any other businesses. So when they get here and they go and they see this, they may see, oh, well, we won't need that. So
Right.
the cost could come down. But this is just to get us moving forward to
Sure.
do what we need to do in the right process.
And you have not heard back from Sweetwater?
I had not, no. Some,
Where do the funds for this come from? You said
we put some funds aside for projects last year.
in permanent improvements.
Right.
Permanent, okay, thank you.
Well, like I said, this is my fault. You gotta know what you got beforehand. Like, I'm not disagreeing with you, Terry,
But we won't know until they come.
right,
And I agree, they need to come.
yeah, well, I think so too.
I just want to be cautious about their fix.
Right.
I don't want to take a front end loader and push it back. But I know.
Or grill to grow behind there and
I hadn't thought about that.
double stitching.
Yes.
Lasted 50 years this way.
That may be exactly what they suggest, I don't know.
Well, my concern is that the dowels that are in there are 3/8 of an inch. Not much bigger than that.
That's true.
Holding those.
Makes you wonder about the engineering at the time.
That's 50, almost 51 years ago. So,
I was 7 years old.
a lot of things happened.
50.
I wasn't even born yet.
Yeah, 52 years ago. But this is when you put granite up, you're talking about lifetime. You're not talking about a generation.
But the engineering from then till now has drastically improved, thank God.
My gracious, I didn't even build the London Bridge. This is no London Bridge.
Right.
I mean, I don't know, maybe the engineers that we had in West Texas are.
And whatever the RFQ brought up, least cost.
It was 71.
Yes.
72.
72.
Oh, I remember, my dad said when they did this, we got a new county judge and 4 new commissioners.
That's what my dad said.
Well, you gotta start somewhere.
You did, right?
This, the way I see it, so I'll make the motion with what did come what.
Second.
All right, all in favor? All right, thank you.
The one good thing about this is even though they are structural engineers that usually deal with loading, this is not loading. Those granite panels don't hold anything.
Right, yeah. All right, court discuss and consider an equipment lease agreement for precinct 4 with First National Bank, DBA F&D Leasing. We went over this the other day a bit, so we didn't go over the lease, but we mentioned that we were gonna do that. So,
Could I make a motion that we approve the equipment lease for precinct 3 loader that we agreed upon back in November 4, I'm sorry. I keep thinking this is 4. And that, for precinct 4, and that we give you the authority to sign.
We're going, yeah, but, is it like the maintainers at the end of the lease?
This is a dollar,
it's
this
just paid, it's
is
just
a
paid.
dollar payment at the end of it, is all it is.
That's fine, I'm just curious.
A motion and a second, all in favor?
I need to get all of the originals so I've got to overnight them and along with the payment of them. Approved payables there in a minute.
Okay.
I've got to get it all overnight again.
Yeah, Lisa. All right, court to consider approval of line item transfers and budget amendments.
There's no line item transfers or budget amendments.
All right, account payable.
We went ahead and just ran the payables since we don't have court for another 2 weeks after today. So, the total of accounts payable is a total of $624,229. That includes the payment of $49,884.78 to First National Bank. We had presented it last time, but payables was approved, taking that out. So we are re-representing, yes, we are representing it in there, so that's the total.
Make the motion, we pay the bills.
All in favor?
Make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor? Thank y'all for doing this on Monday morning. Apologize about letting that Friday. It will. Some days.